Okay, it is 5 o'clock. Let's go ahead and call to order the work session of the East Grand Forks City Council for Tuesday, May 13th. Would everyone please turn on their microphones? And would the city clerk please call roll?
Mayor Mark Olstead.
Here.
Council President Brian Larson.
Here.
Council Vice President Tim Rayoff.
Here.
Council Members Tammy Schumacher.
Here.
Ben Parkshavinsky.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Donald Casey.
Here.
Karen Peterson.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Let's move into item number 1. Consider construction manager at risk for recreation facilities projects. Mr. King.
Thank you, Council President, City Council, and Mayor. At the March 18th City Council meeting, the City Council approved city staff to initiate an RFQ process to select a construction manager at risk for the facility improvements project. 3 construction management firms, Inbuilt, Kraus Anderson, and construction engineers submitted proposals and participated in interviews. Following the reviews and the proposals and the interviews conducted by the selection committee, construction engineers has come out as has been identified as the most qualified CMAR candidate. Based on their extensive experience in municipal projects in the collaborative project approach, city staff is now seeking authorization to begin contract negotiations with construction engineers for the CMAR services. Once the contract terms are successfully negotiated, we bring that agreement to the City Council for final approval. Budget impact, construction costs will be finalized with a GMP, or a guaranteed maximum price. That will also be brought forward to the council, and recommendation would be to allow city staff to start the negotiation process with construction engineers.
Okay, thank you, Mr. King. Any questions on this topic? Mr. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, it says no construction spending will occur without council approval. Is that just for this construction engineers, or is that for the
Right,
project?
and up to this point, we haven't spent anything without City Council approval. So, just to go back a little bit on the design contract that I asked about to the last work session, it's taken a little bit longer than we thought. So, still planning to bring that forward, hopefully at the next council meeting. But same would be for this, as we wouldn't spend any money on the project until we have City Council approval.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions? All right, I see none. Thank you. Okay, let's go to item number 2 then. Consider approval of the Public Transit Agency Safety Plan and the Transit Asset Management Plan. Ms. Ellis.
This is just updates to the plans that we're required to have by Federal Transit. The first one is the Safety and Security Plan, which covers our facilities, our buses, our employees, and our different types of assets that we have. We have not published those online because some of the items in those security plans we don't want out to the public. So we do have them available if you want to take a look. Camera locations, evacuation routes, different things like that. The second plan is our Transit Asset Management Plan, where we take all of our assets, including buses, vehicles, tools, equipment. We have useful lives on them. We keep track of that. Again, didn't release that to the public because it has all our VIN numbers, different information that we don't want out to the public, but we do have available. We have our 3-year triennial federal audit this year in July, so we're making sure that we have all of our plans up to date. I've got the book here, 63 pages of some riveting stuff, so if you're interested, I'll loan it out to you. But other than that, just looking for approval of the plans.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on this topic for Nancy? I see none. Okay.
Right, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 3. Consider creating EDA discretionary loan account using revolving loan fund interest accruals. Ms. Brockling.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council President, and council members. Thanks for allowing me this opportunity to speak on this item. The Finance Director let me know that we have interest that's been accruing on a couple of our revolving loan funds. And I attached that sheet in case you want to see which funds specifically. But it is accrued about $61,143. And we were seeking approval for consideration to take this fund, to take these funds and move it into a new account. This would be part of a multiple-step approval process, so that we could get this request in time for the 2024 year-end audit. So that would just be this initial request. Later, we would seek approval on the use of the funds through the EDA to review it, as well as City Council in a public hearing. But you may be wondering, what could we use these funds for? And these could be used to make us a little bit more competitive with Grand Forks and their economic development lending policies they have. So we could do a very small commercial interest rate buy-down program, a micro revolving loan, and potentially an internship matching fund program. Small amounts, obviously, because the interest that's accrued annually is about $30,000 to $50,000. So we would have the ability to kind of use that fund to our discretion, and this would build upon our existing ones of the border cities tax credits and the gap lending.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Ms. Brockling? Mr. Riopel.
Would the funds be allocated by EDA, or would
I can add that to my list for consideration.
Mr. Riopel, do you have a preference to further your comment?
prefer if the council had approval on it?
Fair enough. Thank you. Mayor Olsted.
I guess the question would be is what's more beneficial?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm assuming probably EDA would be faster and probably less painful for the business owner, but if council sees it as necessary.
Just depends on what exactly we have to go through. And we don't seem to know at this point, right?
Yeah.
So until we know that.
Is Ron looked at this?
I can look at it. I haven't really gone into deep, in-depth on it. I haven't gone into depth on it, but I mean, the EDA is there for a reason, to be able to. The EDA is there for a reason to assist the city council in some of these things. If there's a loan request that would be over a significant amount, you may want to turn around and use a cap instead of every loan through this coming through has to be approved by the city council. Otherwise, there's no sense to have the EDA sitting there.
And that's kind of my point is I think the EDA is there for a reason. I think it's beneficial that they're going to have some leeway of how they can run that side of the things. So I think it'll get bogged down in the city. But if you want to look into it, see what, because originally what are these funds, who owns these funds right now?
That's a good question.
Is it the EDA or the city that owns the funds?
I'm believing they're EDA based off of how the loans are categorized.
That's my assumption, but I just.
Yes, they are EDA funds, and Maggie did check with the attorney that works with these kind of funds to make sure that we could use these kind of dollars for this specifically. And so, yes, they would be EDA funds. We will be coming back with what the policy will be and how to disperse them. It's just that we wanted to get this done before our audit is totally completed and our book is done so that we could start this fund with this year's money from 2024.
Thank you. Anything further, Mayor? Mr. Pakshavinsky?
Thank you. Maggie, just clarifying this, right now we're forecasting about $61,000 to go into this account, but we can expect to see another $30,000 to $50,000 being added to the account every year. And since these are loans, that account eventually will grow to be fairly significant in size. So I think to the mayor and Mr. Riopel's comments, I think it'd be good if we had some sort of a cap that says, any loan under, say, and I'm just throwing out numbers here, under $5,000, the EDA can just approve it. Anything above $5,000 would require city council approval. I would let the EDA decide what that limit is, and we could bring that to the council. But I think that's the direction we should go in.
That's good feedback, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Helms?
Yeah, I think the EDA has always been pretty much up front with the council on what they're doing anyway. So, I mean, we've always, if we're spending money somewhere, giving loans out or whatever, I think it's always kind of been a rule that it's come in front of the council just to let you know. I guess I'd put it that way. So I think we've been pretty good about that. But I think it's going to depend on, as Mr. Paczynski just said, that we're going to have to decide what that limit's going to be per loan, like we do everything else. I mean, we seem to set, so we'll have to get all that done before we even start doing anything, at the EDA meeting, so.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Olsted?
I guess I would look at it this way too, is let's make sure we're not going to put in rules that all of a sudden, a year down the road, that we're going to want to look at changing. We look at what amounts, the loan amount, 149,000, there's a limit there. What is the right limit for this? I think that's something that really going to have some discussion on, if what you're going to be using it for. And take a few examples and say, well, this is what it's going to cost for this or this. So I think that if you're going to corner yourself into a dollar amount, I think it has to be some really good discussions on it, because I don't want to have to go back and you guys are going to have to redo all the policies,
Yeah.
So.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments or questions on this topic? Okay, I see none. Thank you, Maggie.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, let's move on to item number 4 then. Consider special event request from the Self-Advocates of Minnesota of the Northwest Region. Ms. Nelson.
Good evening, everybody. We've received, our administration office received a special event application from this group, and we met with them at a staff level just because with this being the first time they wanted to put this on, just kind of wanted to talk through what they were looking for and what they would need. In the packet, I did include a map of the area that they would like to use, and basically they would like to they were challenged by this at the state level to hold a community event within their region. Usually every year, how they explained it was there is an annual event held down at the state capitol. It's not always easy for everybody to make it there on that day. So this would be the event held in the Northwest region. They would like barricades to block off the area. It would probably happen early. Well, probably Friday afternoon or by early Saturday morning, give them time to set up. They want to bring in food trucks, have vendors come in. I believe she has in here arts and crafts, possibly a DJ so they could play some music, and just have it so anybody in the community could come. It would be from about 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And something that they are or would request, since it's a nonprofit group, they're not charging for the event, they would like to ask that all the fees be waived for this event. So for the use of barricades, they're probably, we're still working through a few things. They have some events going on, so we don't have all of the, or know exactly what they need with garbage cans and picnic tables and stuff like that. But they would request, or are requesting that since it's a free community event, that those fees be waived so they can utilize the barricades and the other items. And then also waive any transient merchant fees for bringing in arts and crafts and different vendors. Is this something that you guys would be looking at, or would you support and looking at waiving those fees?
Okay, thank you. Mayor Olsted?
Thank you. This lady reached out to me and I reported on to Meg, and I appreciate the staff taking care of it. I think it's a good thing to do. I think it's something that would benefit the community. I think it's something that, with that area being used, I'm sure that time of the day, there's nothing else going to be in there anyway. And since it's a nonprofit, I don't think I'd have an issue with waiving anything. So.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Paczynski.
Thank you. I also have no problem supporting this as well. The only question I have, Megan, is this going to be a rain or shine event, or, you know, if it's,
That is something that I would have to ask.
yeah, if there's
that-
inclement weather, do we have any other, like, way to support it, or would they just change the date?
You know, that is not something that we talked about at a staff level. I will definitely reach out and ask. I know they have a play going on this week, and that's what they're, otherwise they probably would have been here tonight to talk to you guys, but I know that they were busy with a few things going on. That is something I can definitely ask. And I know this is something that they're hoping to expand on every year. And hopefully, we're going to have a great parking lot by the Civic Center, so maybe in future years, we could use they could grow into a parking lot space. Just
Yeah, plug that.
just because, downtown with traffic, especially getting close on a Saturday, people coming and going out of the campground and stuff like that, it is a bit of a concern. But we wanted parking close by. They had asked to use that whole space, and I just said, maybe this first year, since we don't know exactly, that it's a big area that they will be in already. But we could possibly, in future years, if they use the Civic Center parking lot, and then if it's raining, we could move inside the Civic Center too. So,
Cool.
but I will definitely ask and find out.
Awesome, thank you.
Great. Are we able to help get the word out a bit more through some of our social media channels, things like that?
It's something we can definitely look at. Typically, when it comes to certain events, I guess what I see is we do for one, we do for all. So
Certainly.
sometimes that might create a lot more work for staff. So we can definitely support and do what we can, talking about it at stuff like this, or having it on the council agenda will bring attention to it as well.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Mayor Olsted.
One other thing, I do believe it falls on Saturday of the Cats Incredible tournament too. So
And that I do know they're just doing the fishing tournament this year.
yes, so I'm just bringing it up. It's the same
Oh.
weekend. They won't even be near that spot. So I mean, so.
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay. Any further comments or discussion on that topic? Okay. All right. Thank you. That brings us to the end of our agenda. I would be looking for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Helms. Is there a second? Second by Riepel. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. Motion passes and meeting is closed. Thank you, everyone.